will contribute to almost $400 billion, which will be 8%. And currently it is around 4%. So you can imagine electronic sector is going to grow much faster than any other sector. We have seen digital revolution in India. We have seen Aadhaar implementation. We have seen so many bank accounts getting implemented. More than 700 million internet connectivities. More than billion people using smartphones and mobile phones. So all this will require data centers. All this will require a lot of storage and connectivity. And that is going to fuel the next growth for India. What are the key growth drivers for this $120 billion to $300 billion? In automotive electronics, we have seen migration from BS4 to BS6 emission norm, because of which on every two-wheeler we have seen electronic fuel injection unit, which is coming up. Electric vehicle is the biggest revolution going to happen over next 8 years, where most of the two-wheelers and four-wheelers will migrate to electric vehicle, and there is a battery management system, there is a motor control, body electronics, connectivity module, so a lot of electronics into every EV. Coming to telecom and networking, 5G migration from 4G is a very big revolution, because we are going to change all the base stations from 4G to 5G. GPON connectivity, government has a program, NOFN, National Optical Fiber Network Program, where they are connecting every panchayat with a fiber optic network. And also Reliance, Airtel, they are taking fiber to the home. So GPON will be the next big thing happening to drive telecom growth, and as well as the Wi-Fi networks. Coming to consumer and industrial, smart energy meters, smart utility meters, solar inverters, as well as mobile phone and home appliances, those will be the growth drivers. As well as smart city project, your smart traffic management, smart utilities, smart garbage collection, smart parking, all those 100 smart city projects will have a good requirement for electronics. What is biggest challenge for India? Today, we are doing a lot of manufacturing. Government has launched this PLI scheme, Production Link Incentive Scheme, because of which we have seen so many mobile phones are getting manufactured, so many electronics manufacturing is happening. Global EMS companies like Foxconn, Flextronic, they have invested heavily. But we are just doing manufacturing activity. We are importing CKD kit, Apple, Samsung, Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, all these people are bringing CKD kit, and we are doing SMT assembly. It gives us less than 10% value addition. That needs to be changed. Same case with consumer electronics. Samsung, LG, Sony, they bring their kits and do assembly. The main value of electronics is into components. 40% value is in components, 30% value is in IP and technology. Now, all of you know that component ecosystem doesn't exist in India. We are importing more than 90% component. So we miss out on 40% value. IP and technology, we have great talent, but that talent works for either a global captive design center or it works in a design services company. There are few product companies from India who are doing design-led manufacturing. Means top 30 semiconductor companies, name it, Intel, Qualcomm, TI, Infineon, STMicro, everyone has a large captive design center in India. Same way Cisco, Juniper, Bosch, Delphi, ABB, GE, Honeywell, all of them have a large captive design center in India. But how many Indian companies are there who are developing product? Or how many fabless companies are there who are doing chip development from India? That is the challenge. So we miss out on design revenue, we miss out on component revenue. What we end up doing is only manufacturing or EMS activity. And that needs to be changed. Next slide, please. Next slide. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's try to understand the value chain. It starts from EDA tools and VLSI chip design at the top. Then we have chip fabrication unit where we manufacture wafers. Then we have ATMP OSAT where we package those wafers into a chip. And then we have electronic component subassemblies where we do the EMS activity. And finally, we do the systems. So currently, we are playing only in the bottom of this pyramid. We have to really go up on this value chain. So Government of India has launched 3 policies for semiconductor. Firstly, CMOS wafer fab, where Tata's proposal is already approved. They are going to set up a wafer fab in Gujarat. Few more proposals are under approval. Then second policy is about LCD or LED wafer fab, where the display manufacturing will happen. As of now, none of the proposal is approved. But the third policy, which is a compound semiconductor policy, that is really a play for MSMEs. Because, you know, in compound semiconductor, you have photonics, discrete, optoelectronics, MEMS sensor, and the investment required for packaging of discrete or MOSFET are close to 100 crore. And 50% incentive in all these three policy is going to come from central government. They have formed ISM, India Semiconductor Mission, which is going to give 50% incentive, and most of the state governments are offering 25% incentive. So a company, if it is a 100 crore project, one has to invest only 25 crore. 75 crore incentive is going to come from Government of India. So for MSMEs, the third policy, which is a compound semiconductor policy, is the most ideal policy. CMOS wafer fab, minimum investment is $4 billion and above. Or display wafer fab, minimum investment is 1.4 billion and above. So let's forget those two schemes. But the third scheme, which is a compound semiconductor scheme, is really beneficial for MSMEs. Next, please. So let me talk about what are the opportunities for MSME and what are the challenges. This is my last slide. So basically, all of you know that MSME contributes 45% of total employment and 29% of India GDP. And $300 billion electronics industry by 2026 or 27, if we assume that 25% of this sector is contributed by MSME, we are talking about $75 billion. It's a pretty large number. And there are industries like industrial electronics, industrial automation, Industry 4.0, where the large companies are not playing. And that is a play for MSMEs, which is industrial electronics. Then we can have, MSME can create 1 million jobs. That is another critical need of the hour. We have to create a lot of jobs, and MSME in electronics can really create a lot of jobs. What are the challenges? I have seen that most of the government tenders, there are barriers like you should have so much revenue, or you should have this many years of experience, or you must have delivered already to government for certain projects. So these are the barriers for MSME, because how a MSME can show some 50 crore or 100 crore type of revenue history to participate in a tender. The second challenge is all these PLI schemes, be it mobile phone PLI or all other automotive electronics and other things, I have seen they are benefiting large companies. Okay, in telecommunication, they brought one extra percentage for MSME, but telecom is not a play for MSMEs. MSMEs will play into industrial, automotive electronics and medical electronics. And there, frankly speaking, there is no PLI scheme. So I'm part of now a task force where we are advocating that there has to be a special scheme for MSME when it comes to electronic PLI. Another challenge is for fabless semiconductor, there is a DLI scheme, Design Link Incentive Scheme. But for electronic design, there is no scheme today. And you know, we are going to develop solution to compete with Chinese solutions or any other imported solution. And we have to support even the designers who are developing. So many startups are working today in developing product, but they don't have any scheme to support them. So that is another advocacy we are doing today.